U.S. soccer great, two-time World Cup winner and former Ballon d'Or feminine recipient Megan Rapinoe is being accused of hypocrisy for her silence on the Iranian women's team. 5 members of Iran's 2026 Women's Asian Cup squad were recently granted asylum by the tournament's host country, Australia, amid joint U.S.-Israeli strikes on the Middle Eastern nation. Earlier in the tournament, Team Iran was seen foregoing the country's national anthem before a game against South Korea, prompting state television to label the women wartime traitors. So when Team Iran was ultimately eliminated, Australian officials offered asylum to anyone who feared retribution back home. But while Rapinoe has been an outspoken advocate for women around the globe, she's been conspicuously silent on the plight of Team Iran, according to British TV host Piers Morgan. The silence over this from Rapinoe, and so many supposed feminists like her, is so telling, damning, and hypocritical, Morgan wrote on X. Morgan then made a reference to Rapinoe's support for trans athletes in women's sports. They'd rather campaign for biological men to wreck women's sport than campaign for these heroic young sportswomen to help save their lives, Morgan added. The 60-year-old broadcaster was responding to a New York Post column, a piece that chastised Rapinoe's criticism of Team USA men's hockey players who laughed at Donald Trump's dismissive joke about their women counterparts. The United States men's hockey team in their utter moment of glory, childhood dreams come true, once-in-a-lifetime accomplishment, sensational, ruined it for themselves because they allowed themselves to be totally co-opted by a clown, the 40-year-old Rapinoe recently said on her podcast. And now, you're a clown. You look like a clown. The 5 Iranian players who were granted asylum by Australia are now safe after having their location revealed by another member of their delegation, according to officials. On Tuesday, Australian Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke told Parliament that 21-year-old striker Mohaddesseh Zalfi and support staffer Zahra Sultan Mashkekar had accepted the government's offer of asylum after 5 others did so a day earlier. But without specifying whether it was Zalfi or Mashkekar who had second thoughts, Burke has since revealed one of the two changed their mind and called the Iranian embassy to get collected. That call led Iranian handlers to learn where the defectors were staying, prompting Australian officials to quickly relocate the asylum seekers. I immediately gave the instruction for people to be moved, and that's been dealt with immediately, Burke said. Burke also stressed that the person who decided to return to Iran was given every opportunity to remain in Australia. This was her decision, and every question you would want asked, was asked. As for the women who are staying in Australia, Burke said they will be fast-tracked to permanent residency. Burke has identified those 5 players as Fatima Pasandideh, Zahra Janbari, Zahra Sarbali, Atefa Ramazanzadeh, and Mona Hamoudi. They want to be clear they are not political activists. They are athletes who want to be safe, Burke said. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese addressed their situation on Tuesday, calling the 5 players brave women and promising they're safe here and they should feel at home here. Meanwhile, Iran has announced it will not take part in this summer's World Cup in North America. When asked about Iran's participation at the World Cup by Politico last week, U.S. President Trump replied, "I really don't care.